talking about.
Well, I'm just with D'Antoni with this offense stuff. Like, he's a great coach. Everybody knows he's a great offensive coach. He's never won a championship as a coach. Facts. Some kind of way you got to tweak that offense. You have to make adjustments. I don't care how great of a coach you are, how stuck in your ways. Greg Popovich made adjustments. And we're talking about one of the greatest coaches in the league right now, best coach in the league right now. He don't want to change that offense up. He wanted to just sit there and ISO, and that's not going to beat Golden State. You have to tweak it up. And another thing, I was a defensive player. I feel for Ariza and P.J. Tucker. You asking me to chase these guys around all game and come back on the offensive end and sit there and watch
James touch the ball
and watch James and Chris just dribble the air out the ball? That's not basketball. That's not winning basketball, and it's definitely not winning basketball in the Western Conference Finals.
Listen, but to a degree, that was the basketball that got him 65.
Right.
Regular season is regular season, preseason, first round, second round. That's all different levels of basketball.
I'm not disputing that. What I would like, though, is if Game 1 were a typical Rockets game and they got beat, then I would say, and got beat the way they did, then I would say you have to change it up. But Game 1 wasn't. I'm going to keep going back to this number because I think it's important. The Rockets led the entire NBA this year with isolations per game. It was 22. In Game 1, they had 45. The most of any team in any game, playoffs or regular season, in at least 5 years.
And if Golden State couldn't stop them, they should have ran 60 of them.
Right.
But the way Golden State plays defense, with Kevin Durant being the predominant ball pressure on Harden, they weren't getting some type of huge advantage in the isolation ball.
So you talked about adjustments need to be made. What adjustments? What can D'Antoni do?
Like Chris said earlier, a little bit more motion. You know, you can't come down, James just dribble it up, come set a pick and roll, switch, and you can't do that all game against a great team like Golden State. You have a great defensive coach over there, Mike Brown. I'm guaranteed he's making some adjustments where those ISOs won't be effective going forward. Those ISOs ain't gonna be as effective in Golden State. You have to have some type of, and Joe Johnson. You have Joe Johnson on the bench, a guy you can throw the ball down there to, ISO, he can get you 15 points. You got to use your other guys. They're not going to win the West Conference Finals like this.
Golden State's a great offensive team. They're also a great defensive team. You can't give the same look to a defense that many times. They got good athletes.
Right.
They got more experience. They're going to adjust. Now, if they're not adjusting, then we give them, as a game plan, D'Antonio's got to be able to change. You have to have something to change the pace. You can't throw fastball at major league hitters. They will eventually catch up to it. It's like batting practice. Golden State, you cannot continue to send the ISO. Even if you're going to send ISO, do it like Golden State did. Put Kevin Durant in the low post. That was isolation too. 1 or 2 dribbles and doing it quick. So that slow, methodical isolation, it's not helping these other players feel a part of the team.
The other thing that it does, and we didn't see it so much in Game 1, but I believe this is one of the reasons James Harden in his career, this year's a good example of it, by the way, his performance has deteriorated as series goes on. It's exhausting. You ask James Harden, right, to hold it. Think about what the Warriors asked Klay to do. Now, these are two diametrically opposed players. But Klay in Game 1 with how many jump shots he hit? I think he hit 9 jump shots. He held, on those 9 makes, he held the ball for less than 1 second on 8 of them. Meanwhile, so think about the energy, the freshness Klay then has to contribute on the defensive end. Compared to James, who is dribbling 12, 14 seconds at a time. That is an exhausting way for James Harden to play if you're going to ask him to play 40-plus minutes for what they hope is 7 games.
That's exhausting for Klay, too, because you say he get the ball 1 second. He's coming off picks. He's running all around. Then he has to guard. But then just to get to, with James ISO, you have to realize, he's going, after he beat his guy, he's going up against one of the best help defenders in the league, Draymond Green. Right. Even KD has got good at coming over and help side. So
yes.
They're fine with you trying to beat this guy all game. And then you have to beat Draymond at the rim. This is something that they hope they do all series, because I tell you once again, one player will never beat a great team. That'll never happen.
What I'm willing to bet is, you talked about Klay and the comparison with Klay, what he's doing, how he was scoring, running off of picks compared to James Harden. Klay is a better pure athlete than James Harden. Klay is in better shape.
Yes.
Klay plays both ways every game, no complaints. That's what Klay does. That's how he's made his money besides shooting. So Klay is a tremendous athlete, is in great shape. People don't want to give him credit. And you can see Harden got tired. He is not the type of athlete. You mentioned before, oh, he's in better shape than we've seen James Harden. But no one besides LeBron is in that type of shape to be able to be on the point and is not going to suffer on the defensive end.
And even LeBron and James Harden, as you see at the end of the games, you know, they get off to good starts. They dominate the ball third, fourth quarter. They make a lot of uncostly mistakes, a lot of turnovers that other teams get easy points off of because they're tired and they've been dominant the whole game. You got to have other guys on your team to give those guys breaks.
And one thing you talked about with the role players, I believe it's very, very important with you playing with superstar players, playing on great teams that passed and picked and moved without the ball, played a lot of motion. I used to tell the coach, especially when it's cold. And it's cold outside. If you want me to show up in the third or fourth quarter, you better let me touch that ball in the first or second quarter. Don't be expecting me just to make some critical play and I haven't been involved in the game plan. I'm not going to tell you got to throw it to me a bunch, but you better let me touch it before it gets critical.
Well, listen, I think Trevor Ariza understands what his role is. I think Trevor Ariza was playing his role well in game one. The foul trouble is what got him. He got fourth and fifth fouls in quick succession in the third quarter. You had to take him out of the game. I think Trevor Ariza knows my job in this series is to do the best job anybody can on Kevin Durant, try to slow him down. Like, I'm not as worried about Ariza losing interest because that's what he was brought to this team to do. I am worried about Eric Gordon needs to play better than he played this postseason. Chris Paul needs to play better than he played in game one.
None of those role players want to get the ball with less than 2 seconds to shoot.
Of course.
After you've been yo-yoing, and then now you don't get a shot. You're trying to throw it to me, and I got the rush on up there.
The grenade. Don't throw me the grenade. Dribble the ball, the whole shot clock, 2 seconds, tick, 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 boom, you want to throw it to me. James does that a lot, but you can't do that with guys that you expect to play defense the whole game.
Does Mike D'Antoni make the adjustments? Can he? Is he capable?
I don't think he will. I think he's too stuck in his ways.
Wow. Steven, thank you so much.